I woke up at 7:30 a.m., which is early for me. The first thing on my mind was this scene from The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, where Smeagol is arguing with his alter ego Gollum.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening.
After scrolling through gossip, negativity, and rage on my phone for about 90 minutes, I went back to sleep. When I woke up again a few hours later, I began to wrestle with the realization made clear to me the night before. I have become unpleasant to some and insufferable to others to be around. I have indeed been in and out of the darkness recently, but I had not yet realized I had become contagious. Of course, this only serves to amplify the darkness within, but I certainly don't want to be responsible for transmitting it to someone else. I wanted to shadow a DJ for the night, since I was not working. A short film documentary behind a single night DJing, if you will, telling the story via word, video, pictures, and music. I received no takers when I offered this on my Instagram story. Whether this was related to my current emotional state or simply too short of notice, I cannot say. I decided to do a test run anyway, on my own. First stop, Gold Diggers Bar, because it's walking distance from my house. I like the staff, the drinks are reasonably priced, and they almost always play good music. Except that time there was a girl on stage playing Fergalicious. Not that there's anything wrong with Fergalicious, I just don't want to hear it. On a side note, I met Fergie a couple times, and she was a genuinely nice person and knew a lot of great 90s hip-hop records. But I digress. On my way to the bar, I walked past a woman in a red jacket at a bus stop. She appeared to be a working girl, or a lady of the night if you prefer. I must have been strutting because she said, "Look at this guy walking with swag." I said thank you. She then asked, "Where are you going?" "Wherever the wind takes me," I replied. Then I snapped my fingers and pointed gun hand style to my right, like some cool character from a 1980s movie. I walked into a moderately crowded bar. The band, who had just finished, was breaking down their equipment. I sat down and ordered. Next to me was a girl showing a guy a stack of records she had purchased earlier that day. There was no DJ, but the music playing, while mostly unfamiliar to me, was enjoyable. I pulled out a piece of paper and drew a composite sketch of the Clam Man, a somewhat mythical figure in the Pismo Beach area whose existence I had just learned about on a trip the previous weekend. I moved from the bar to a table on the dance floor, hoping, by chance, a beautiful woman might sit down and start a conversation with me. This almost never happens, but you gotta play to win. I finished my high life and walked one block to a charming karaoke bar called Primetime. I had been reluctant to come back to this place because the last time I was here, I met a group of regulars in the back who I struck up an instant friendship with and shared a bucket of beers, even though we had a language barrier. Then out of nowhere, some miserable fuck who must have not liked the way my face looked started shit with me for no reason. Twice I invited him to step out to the parking lot, mere feet from where we were, to settle it like two men, and so as to not disrespect the space. But like a coward, he refused. Luckily, he was not here this time. There was only a handful of people inside. The karaoke DJ was doing most of the singing, and since there was no wait, I put in a slip of paper with my song choice, and then proceeded to violently, but passionately butcher Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. After I finished, I drank the rest of my Coors Light and called it a night. On my walk home, I came to a realization about paying dues. I had been thinking about how long I have paid mine, but how I feel I have not yet been recognized or rewarded for the dues I have paid. That's when I came to this realization. The thing about paying dues is that if they're really dues, you never really stop paying them. What are you gonna do? As I recorded this, I was walking across the street towards the same bus stop where the working girl had complimented my walk a few hours earlier. As I stepped onto the curb from the street, I nearly tripped on a crack in the sidewalk, probably because I was looking into my phone. "Careful," a voice said. I looked up, and she was still there. The exact moment I realized it was her, a white car pulled up, and she poked her head in the window briefly, then got in, and they drove off. 20 seconds earlier, or 20 seconds later, I wouldn't have known it happened at all. I felt a sense of accomplishment for her. She was out trying to make a sale, and she did. I was out looking to tell a story of the night, and I did too.